Hey gang, this is the long-awaited part 2 of the Anaconda enclosure and how it works. We're not going to go into how I built it on this video, but we are going to go into how it works and the equipment it uses. So for starters, we're going to go to the filter and we're going to add a little light here. Alright, this is a Fluval FX6. I only use it for biological and mechanical filtration, and it runs to a very big Coral Life Turbo Twist 12X, which uses a 36 watt bulb for UVC sterilization. Everything's plumbed from the filter to the enclosure and back and forth. Then we have the drain shutoff valves. This one right here is for the Anaconda enclosure. It drains this body of water in about less than, I guess, like less than 5 minutes or so. The last couple inches deep kind of take a little longer because the water pressure is not pushing down as fast. But yeah, you turn this valve, it leads to the water basin, which is connected to a floor drain right there. It's a little looking grimy, but you know, I don't really need to worry about the cleanliness of the floor drain, more of the enclosure. This is where everything was sealed. I kind of super sealed it over here because I wanted to. This one is for a Cayman enclosure that's right above the drain. We'll go into that in another video. So how this works is the water will rise up to about here, and then the downward pressure from all the water pushes all that water down the drain at a faster rate. So once it starts filling up, it really starts getting forced down the drain, and it's really nice to quickly empty the water basin. Then we'll move on to the heating elements. These are let's get rid of that. 2 Helix radiant heat panels. They're the 40-inch by 11.5-inch by, I believe, under 2 inches, they said, so I'm guessing 1.5 inches. And I have 2 of those running. The cords are hidden in between the 2, and it's also where the hole is cut so that they can get out to reach the thermostat, which is still at 82. That's also a Helix controls system thing. I like them. They work really nice. I do have some RBI panels, but I still use the Helix controls. This one's actually at 83, but there's some radiant heat behind this cage. We'll go into that enclosure in another video. These work fairly well, and they always keep the temperature right where I want it. So right now she's in a 86 to 90 degree temperature zone, and from there it goes 90 degrees to 92, 94, 96 at its hottest that I've ever found with the temp gun. Then it goes down from there, you know, reverse order, until you reach the cool end, which is about 80 degrees. It's only 82 over here because this is the warmer side, and well, this is the cool part of the warmer side, is where the probe right here goes through the vent 1, and then there's vent 2 for cross ventilation. Right now she's kind of indecisive about whether she wants to be in or out of the water, but that's alright, that's her choice. And it looks like she made a little mess. I'll have to clean that up too. The trap box door is the one she's right by, and I'm glad she likes to investigate that because it means she'll use the trap box once it's available. I'll show you the trap box too. It's not quite done yet, but it's in between the 2 large snake enclosures, and it is 2 feet this way, a little more than that actually, by a little more than 4 feet back, and then it is 3 feet high, so just snug for a nice hide and trap box area for large constrictors. This is my door then, which is about 2 by I want to say a little more than 2 high. And then there's a handle and a nice little lock on it so she can't push it open, as this one has the same features. And it's hard to visualize where my hand goes. All right. Then the trap box doors have handles too to pull up, and they are locked with just a regular padlock, just to ensure that they don't get pushed up and they escape. Then we have some GFCIs to make sure nothing short circuits or, gets too warm. Whatever GFCIs do, we got a couple of those laying around with 3 prongs, and they restart once the power comes back to them, which is nice. And I do believe that is everything that this enclosure uses to run. Oh, and we used these lightings. These they're basically LED. Well, they are LED shop lights. I use 3 of them, and then there's panels that allow the light in. They get kind of dusty, but it kind of makes it the right amount of light, because she doesn't like too much light, and they can get kind of bright if I keep cleaning those things, the panels. Alright, there's all 3 of those. Of course, have some plants. She likes to poke her nose in those once in a while. Mostly just hangs out in the water. And you may have been wondering what's with the shower curtains and the bed sheet. Well, that is because when I do other projects, I use concrete and acid to acid etch the concrete and then apply the epoxy. And that can cause caustic gases to flow through the air. I have a lot of fans always running just to keep air circulating, but when I open the windows, it gets even more circulatory. I don't know how to say that, but I don't need that touching the acrylic panel, because it can cause something called crazing, which is like bubbles and scratches underneath the acrylic actually. So it's really hard to get rid of, if not impossible, without replacing the panel. I have had to do that before, replace this whole 8 by 4 foot by 1 inch thick panel, and it's over in another room. I'm going to use it to build a shark tank or something like that. I don't know, because it's pretty thick. I might have overdone it. But yeah, that about sums it up, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Alright, right at the 8-minute mark. Woo!